This is going to be attempt number 2 at making a healthcare video on my series How to Be an Expat in 2018. For some reason, Adobe Premiere had an aneurysm when it was trying to encode the last video I made. So we're going to try this again. So first thing I want to say about this video is I am not, let me say that again, I am not comparing the American healthcare system to the Philippine healthcare system, because there is no comparison. You're talking about apples and oranges, and I'm not comparing apples and oranges. If you think I'm comparing apples and oranges, then you are eating bananas. So go climb a tree. Now, what I am going to do is give you some information based on my personal experience. Then I'm going to offer you some suggestions regarding healthcare on medications, prices of medications, doctor's visits, where you should live if you have a serious condition, things of that nature that can adequately provide your needs which need to be met. Somewhere that has the resources to provide the services to keep you healthy. If you have a major medical condition and you choose to live in a provincial location and you have, you know, some kind of pulmonary embolism or some other really bad thing happen to you, you're probably not going to make it. So it's a good idea, if you have serious needs, to live near serious care. That just kind of makes sense. Okay, so here's where people usually have the hardest time with my understanding on the Philippine healthcare system. And that is because it comes down to medication costs. You see, I'm talking about if you have no insurance at all here in the Philippines, okay? No insurance. No field health, no traveler's health, no nothing. If you have none of that stuff, there are a few, not many, a few medications that cost more here than they do in America. That is a fact. You can look it up. That's not my opinion. Now, those medications are rare, and you probably will never encounter them. But here's how you foolproof that problem. When you come on your visit, as I have suggested that you do, bring all of your medications that you take with you. Take them to the local pharmacies that you will be using. They will give you prices on the medications and tell you how much they cost, so you will know. Furthermore, they will also, much more importantly, tell you whether or not the Philippines even carries that medication. Because many medications that we have in America or in other well-developed nations are not carried here in the Philippines. Many times they can substitute a medication for another here in this country. However, sometimes they cannot. If that is the case, you are going to need to make arrangements with your doctor from home to supply you with enough medication until you can get back to the States to resupply. That is my best suggestion to you. There is health insurance offered here called Field Health. You have to be here a certain amount of time to qualify for it. I believe that amount of time, unless it's changed, is 6 months. I have not yet gotten my Field Health, and I need to do so badly. But it is my understanding that Field Health is more of a emergency insurance. In other words, it will cover a large percentage of your costs should you have to go in for a hospital stay. Now, I'm not going to give you details on Field Health because I don't know enough about it. That is just my general understanding, and I don't want to give you the wrong information. So, if you have a major medical condition, first and foremost, you may want to consider staying in the first world country that you're in that has the adequate care, and you know they have the adequate care. Secondly, if you choose to come to the Philippines anyway, be sure that you go to a place that has the resources that can meet your needs. Otherwise, you will find yourself in a lot of trouble really quickly. And that has been my personal experience with medical issues here in the Philippines. The Philippine doctors here are wonderful. Many of them are trained in either America or Europe, and they come back to work here. Many of them are trained here. And the training here, from what I understand, is very adequate to treat most anything. And I'm not just talking about medical doctors, I'm also talking about dentists, behavioral health people, and others. So the doctors here do a good job, or they have with me. The pharmacies are a little different. The medications they carry and the way they distribute them are very different from the way we do it in America. But once you get used to it, it actually makes sense. The Philippines does have a decent healthcare system, and it is a good healthcare system for the people that live here. I wouldn't call it great, but it is definitely adequate. So if you are thinking of moving, you have an adequate resource system for your healthcare needs here in the Philippines. It is just a matter of you making the right decisions regarding where you need to be. Can you manage your own healthcare here in the Philippines? Can you make the right decisions to get the right doctor, live in the right location, and afford your medications as needed? I hope this has been an informative video, guys, and I do apologize about the last one that was messed up. I'm not sure what happened, but try not to let that happen again. You guys have a great day. I have a few more parts to this series and then I'll be done. If you have any questions about healthcare, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If I can't answer them, I'm sure somebody that reads the comment sections will.